What's going on, everyone? We're back with another segment. We're back with it. So again, this is one of the long episodes. This is probably part two by now, so y'all probably finished up part one. So today, though, on this segment, we got a new guest, from a new guest on the show. You want to introduce yourself? You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
What's up, guys? I'm Taz. You might know me from TikTok. It's gas station story time.
Sure, sir. So yeah, we we're gonna be talking about the Super Bowl today. We'll be talking about the Super Bowl. I mean, um, because it's tomorrow, literally tomorrow. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. First off, we got winning. Just first off, let's just start there.
The Jets. No, man, I'm going with the Chiefs. I say that at the same time saying I've gotten every single pick wrong since the playoffs have started. So with that being said, the Bucks will probably win, but I'm going with the Chiefs.
You know what's funny? OG, the guy I had on before you, he's got everything right on the AFC side.
I've gotten them all wrong except for the first Saints game. I picked the Saints and I got that one right. Other than that, I've gotten every single one wrong, and I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I think the biggest ones were probably the Cleveland winning and then LA winning. Those were the two that I did not see coming.
I didn't see Cleveland winning at all. That one shocked me, but I just thought it was funny. You know, he started 11-0, and everybody's thought the Steelers go in perfect season, and then they lose first round of the Browns. I was like, oh,
yeah. They lost too. They lost pretty bad too. It was they had a chance to come back, but did they really have a chance to come back? It was like that, you know. It's like
see, but though I feel with the Browns, though, I feel like they overall have the best quality of team out there, like skill wise. I feel like they don't have enough veterans and coaching. Because I mean, think about who they got. They got Baker. They got Odell. The defense is just loaded. They've got the best skill team in my opinion out there. They're just all too young. They need a couple veteran players, and I could see them going the whole way.
I feel like they also got I mean, they haven't showed it, but I feel like the players that they have the chance to have the ego problems. I really do see it, but they haven't.
And I think that's a big part of it is the players they have. They all have huge personalities, and
like Baker, he's people call him a leader, but I don't know about him as a leader. He's more of a personality to me. You know, he has that character about him. He's not really a leader to me.
See, well, I will say this, coming from Oklahoma, I hear a lot about him when he played at OU and this and that. He's got character. He's got a lot of personality, but it's like the players around him, they drive on that. Now, sometimes a little too much, like when he threw the flag in Ohio State's logo.
Oh, yeah.
Or when he decided to run from the cops. As a leader, you can't do those certain things. But like I said, I feel like he's got potential. It's just, especially with Odell, though, he's got to calm Odell down.
Oh, yeah. I'm a Giants fan, and my jersey's up here. But, yeah. And, he showed a lot of that, the Josh Norman fight from a couple years ago. Watching that today, actually.
And what's crazy is, in college, I mean, he was quiet with me. Didn't have a quarterback throw to him. I'm a big old LSU fan. And he goes to the pros, and he has that one catch, and he decides he's the greatest thing ever. And he lets that head get to him.
Yeah. Do you think that's what made Odell that one catch?
I do. I really do. Because before that, like I said, he wasn't named. No one really knew who it was because in college he didn't do anything. We had no quarterback throwing the ball. We just handed the ball to Leonard Fournette every time. He goes in there and he makes that miraculous catch. Everybody starts looking at him, and then they start realizing, oh, this guy can play ball. He can catch.
Well, do you think
puts the focus more on him?
Do you think that got recognition towards him, or was that just it for him?
I don't think it's bad recognition because, I mean, he is a hell of a player. I do believe he's one of the best players in the NFL.
Yeah.
I just feel like with how much everybody was like, that's the greatest catch ever, he's got a big hit. I think it went to his head, and he was like, I'm untouchable. I think that's kind of where it started.
Yeah, that catch was crazy, though.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Was it 2 fingers?
Oh, yeah. 3 fingers because
3 fingers was with me and pulled down by a defender. That was unreal.
The flag thrown and everything, and then staying in bound. Yeah, that was crazy. That was just.
So that might have been the greatest catch of all time. I just feel like it gave him a big head with it, and he's been toxic to every team he's been with since.
Yeah. But it was funny because he didn't he got that personality, but apparently he never even saw the Giants trade coming. Apparently, he wasn't the guy who requested it or anything, and I really haven't seen. He is loyal. I'll give him that. He is loyal.
He's loyal. I don't know how the whole trade situation went down. I just remember hearing about it and was like, "Oh, I saw it coming." I don't know if he did, but I saw it coming.
Yeah. Yeah. I came back home. I see that happen. I'm like, they just traded this guy. I thought it was fake at first. I thought it was like a trade rumor. And I see, nope, they actually traded him. They actually traded him. But then part of me was like, was this gonna happen anyway? It seemed like it was coming. It wasn't completely out of the ordinary. Like the DeAndre Hopkins trade, that was just out of nowhere.
Well, it's like
But
a lot too. If you notice the players, every time it's a skill player that's not a quarterback and they get a huge payday, they normally get traded the next couple seasons because that
yeah,
team's like, we can't pay you. Somebody else that's not a good team, y'all got more salary cap. Same thing with Jimmy Graham. Well, he got a huge payday at the Saints. Next year got traded. He ain't been the same since.
yep. Jimmy, that guy was
He
crazy when he
was
was playing.
it was him and Gronk on who was
Oh,
the best in the NFL. And then as soon as he got traded, everybody forgot about Jimmy Graham.
yeah, he was like unstoppable. That guy was an athletic freak of nature though. That guy like he played basketball, came into
Yep,
the
for
NFL.
the youth.
Was he the one
That's
who
that
no,
some tight ends.
I think was it Jimmy Graham or Tony Gonzalez who broke the field goal post that one day?
That was Jimmy Graham.
That was Jimmy Graham.
That's when they banned him
Yep.
from doing his dunk. They had to
Yep.
go out there with a home game. They had to go out there and reset the entire thing, and it took
I
like 10
think
minutes for him to do it. They're like, yeah, no more dunking on the goalpost, guys.
yeah. And then he still did it where like he just didn't hit the
Yeah, he just didn't slam it. He would just throw it over it.
yeah, that guy. I mean, he was actually okay this season, but like there wasn't any tight ends this season as well. Like there was maybe two good tight ends. That was like Darren Waller and Kelsey.
Well, so Travis Kelce, I think he was what, second in reception yards this year.
Oh yeah, he's going
He's
off. And
killing it. Which I mean, every year he's killing it. He's the next Gronk.
yeah, yeah. I feel like he could be the greatest tight end of all time. I feel like he can if he keeps it. But only problem is with him. I would say Gonzalez is probably number one, but Gonzalez he started whenever he was 21. This guy started whenever he was like 24.
Only thing with like any of the receivers and tight ends these days, I feel like they have a chance to catch these older players just because the league is more of a passing league than it was
Mhm.
when they started.
Mhm.
Because I mean, look, a lot of the receivers, they're way ahead of Jerry Rice's numbers at this point in his career and this and that, but they didn't throw the ball as much back then. Just like these quarterbacks. I mean, Breeze just hit 80,000 yards. That'll get broke no problem by Patrick Mahomes before he retires. But you would have thought 20 years ago, you wouldn't have thought anybody hit 80,000 yards.
Well, that's where it gets interesting with quarterbacks though, because the way it's going, the lifespan of a quarterback might be shortened. The way like everybody's trying to run, read options. I wouldn't be surprised if it lasts from like what players we see going to like 40 years old, 30, 35 and above. They might be like done like Cam Newton, like starting to regress at like 32.
Yeah, the running quarterback. That's the same thing with Lamar Jackson when he first came in. Everybody was all high on him. I was like, yeah, but it's how long can it last?
Yeah.
How long? It's like Michael Vick might be the greatest,
Oh yeah.
dual threat quarterback ever. And how long did it last? Even when he came
Yeah.
back, teams got some tape on him and realized how to stop that running quarterback. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. Let's kind of give him a season or two, figure out what he does on tape, and then you can game plan for it.
Yeah. Vic, like, good thing with Vic was at least he was able to change his game, I guess. But he wasn't good after that. Like he had to throw the ball more, and not just coming off the whole dogfighting incident. It was just even just after being injured, he came back and he clearly wasn't in his element whenever he came back. And then he had to change his game, but it just wasn't Mike Vick. It was just
Yeah, it
a
wasn't the
regular
same Vic.
quarterback. It was just a quarterback, who can maybe occasionally take off. But Lamar, I don't know. Lamar, it's crazy because like he is actually he's probably one of the fastest in the NFL, just players in the NFL.
The
And
man has some speed.
that guy is crazy. And he cuts and he just doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. Like whenever you do
That he's not scared to take a hit. That's what I like about him. But at the same time, that's how
that's also
quarterbacks
not
get
a
hurt.
great thing. Yeah.
That's how you get
That's what
hurt.
happened to Cam. That's what's happening to Cam. Like he's known for the goal line, Cam Newton, like with 12 touchdowns in the red zone today, or not today, this year. But he's also like putting his head down. You remember the Superman play, the one where he literally he got flipped and still landed. It's not what you see a quarterback doing, and that's not what a quarterback's supposed to be doing either.
Especially the diehard Saints fan. I've watched him plenty of times play us with Carolina, Many a times they said goal line. We give him good hits, he'd still score. But every hit, I'm like, hey, that's fine. He took that hit because they add up.
They do, and even players like Ben Roethlisberger, like we were talking about it with Zadarius, like his play style, like he's probably like they signed Dwayne Haskins. He's probably gonna be a mentor because he's 35, but like that play style where he sits in the pocket and just expects to break every single tackle, that's not going to last long, He's 35, 36 years old, probably older than that.
He's injury prone. I don't think in the last 4 years he hasn't finished the season.
Yeah, no, he's not being into it. And not this season, but the season before, that was almost career ending. That could have been. That was.
I mean, every year right now, I know he sits that back and talks about retiring every single year. I've been waiting on the past couple.
Yeah.
Like this year, I don't know. Like I said, I know they have Dwayne Haskins, which we'll see how he does. But
yeah, and he's got that. I don't know. I feel like he's got that immaturity to him. He's not
like he's got potential.
He has potential. I'll give him that, but he didn't. It's hard to gauge because he went from Ohio State, which is one of the best colleges, like with talent, to the Washington football team. That's had to change their name, and I mean they did make the playoffs, but it was more of their defense.
I mean, they made the playoffs, but the division they were in, I don't know if I'd be bragging about any of that.
Yeah. If we made the playoffs, I wouldn't be. I don't know if I would be high on us. Like, I would still be a fan and say that, yeah, we're gonna make the Super Bowl, but I'll still have.
I think the Eagles should have won that division. I think we all believe that, but coaching, I don't know how you pull Jalen Hurts out of the game when you have a chance to go to the playoffs. But
no, that was they were already out of the playoffs at that time. The Giants needed to win, or the Giants needed the Eagles to win that game.
That's what I'm talking about. The Giants should have made the playoffs. Not that I had that backwards, but still, I don't know. You don't play to win, is what I was saying with that. How you pull Jalen Hurts out of the game, I don't understand.
I'm still not like that. Just
especially
makes no sense.
That I feel like they're going to draft. They will trade for a quarterback this offseason.
Really?
I feel like that. I don't feel like they have. I don't feel like they have faith in anybody they got right now.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they traded Jalen Hurts because they got rid of the coach Doug Peterson, who clearly didn't want to stick with Carson Wentz.
But that's the issue is what are you going to do at Wentz? You're paying him all this money. You can't just bench him. I mean, I feel like they're going to try to trade him, but I don't feel like anybody's going to want to take on that contract.
They're in conversation with the Bears right now, is what I heard. So there might be something. But that Eagles team, for some reason, loves him. And they treat him like Prince Harry, if you get what I mean. But yeah, but like he's loved in that organization. He just is.
And that's what I don't really understand. I mean, I understand he did good his first season, but then you get hurt. Nick Foles comes in.
Yeah.
Well, in the second year, same thing. Nick Foles comes in.
Yeah. And that one season where he was supposed to be like, oh, he was an MVP candidate, it was a fluke season. He made the most craziest plays on like 3rd down and 10. Like it made no sense. And Case Keenum was going to be an MVP candidate a couple seasons ago. But that doesn't make them a good quarterback. They had a good season, great season. But Case Keenum's not going to start and be that same player. Like, that's going to be the same thing with Carson Wentz. Especially with
not for a whole season, but that's just like going back to saying that Matt Flynn holds all the single game records for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, yeah.
He got him a big contract and didn't do nothing with it. But that just, everybody has a day or a game or even a season where, you look good, get some tape on them though. And now defenses know what to do. They get paid millions of dollars to, stop you from doing what you're good at doing.
Yeah. So, let's see. So back to the Super Bowl, right? So what do you think? Well, I've been asking about everybody this question. What do you think is going to be the biggest factor in this game?
Defense. Defense. Because I think it comes down to both quarterbacks, right? You got Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. You're not going to stop either of them. You're not going to hold either of them under 20 points, I don't believe. So I believe it's going to come down to turnovers. Like who can force the turnover and get that extra possession for their team. Because still, I feel like, especially the Super Bowl, it's what I've always felt. You got to find some way to catch your opponent off guard.
Yeah.
All or nothing, right? It's not like, oh, we play to keep up. No, Super Bowl, I feel like you put all your cards in, play to win.
It's and it's not like, well, there is experience to it. Tom Brady is being in this 6 times, while Mahomes has only been here. Well, he's been here twice now. He made it. He's been competing every single year he's a starter, but he has 4 years. But I don't think that's gonna make a difference. So it's not one of those games. So it's not like that's gonna happen. But I don't think it's gonna be like the Giants Super Bowl 07, where the defense completely changed that game. So it really just depends on, well, can you stop them? And if you do stop them, like, when is it? Because if it's the first quarter and you get a pick, there's not much about it, because they'll turn it around. But if you get it at the fourth quarter, like last drive, you may have just won your team the Super Bowl.
Well, whoever the Chiefs, I feel like the Chiefs, their best option is what every team that's done well against the Bucs have done this year, is get on Brady early, get him off his spot, hit him a couple times, and then it takes the run out. Because I feel like when it comes to coaching, I feel like Andy Reid's got the edge on that one all day.
Yeah.
They don't. The Bucs don't run the ball. They don't. Yeah. They're not balanced.
Yeah.
And I still feel like, running the ball, having a good run game is going to win you a championship. But we will see Sunday. We'll see tomorrow.
Yep. And it's crazy because, like, they got Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones, who are 2 very good players. And if they can take advantage of the run game, because that O-line's playing better, and if they can take advantage of it, I see them easily taking the game away. But if they get stopped and they have to rely on the pass game only, and they can't open up the run game at all, I don't know. It's gonna be close. It really will be.
I feel like that run game means a lot, especially to the Bucs, because of how much Bruce Arians likes to call the shot plays, the play action. If you're not running the ball, then the play action is not going to work.
Yeah,
and that's when you throw deep shots into double coverage and bad things happen.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady had 3 interceptions last week at the end of the second half. So he's still susceptible to it. It's just, can you open up that offense? He's a GOAT, but he will throw picks. He will mess up. I mean, you can expect that from every single quarterback, any single player. They will slip up at some point. At some point in time, they will slip up. But if you can try and like limit that with your play calling, you'll have a better chance of succeeding. And they, like, with the coaching, I think Bruce Arians, well, he's had the experience. He was the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh whenever they won. I did not even know that till a couple of days ago, actually. So, but thing is, he's also had those moments where he hasn't, he's going to be outcoached. And Andy Reid is arguably the best coach right now. I would say he is. There might be a couple others, but
I'd definitely put him. I'd put him in the top 5. I don't think I'd put him as the best right now.
It's close. It's close.
The couple I'd put at probably 1 and 2 is, and I don't know what order, but would be Sean Payton and Mike Tomlin. And not trying to be biased with the Sean Payton one. Just look what he's done the last 2 years without Drew Brees. He's lost 1 game. You go 8-1 without Drew Brees, and then Mike Tomlin. I mean, I shouldn't have to say anymore. Other than the playoff loss, that man every year he's got his team where it needs to be, with Big Ben or without Big Ben.
I could see the Mike Tomlin, but
I can't really do Belichick anymore because he kind of fell off with Cam Newton. He kind of showed us. Oh,
I mean, but things with Bill Belichick, was he ever supposed to be that offensive-minded head coach? He was never. He always brought in great coaches to help out the offense, but he won 2 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator, and that's really what he always was. He was a defensive mastermind. So
I still feel like the Patriots is more of a system. Even with the year they had. I mean, look at the year Tom Brady got injured and got hurt. Yeah, they didn't go 16-0, but you go 11-5 with Matt Castle.
Yeah, Matt Castle was He tore it
I
up.
mean, and even look how Tom Brady got his start. Tom Brady wasn't supposed to ever play.
Oh,
You're a
yeah.
7th-round pick. You're not. You got a Hall of Famer playing in front of you. He gets hurt. You come in, do good. Oh yeah, sure, we can pay you less. You'll do it.
Yeah, that was.
No, I'm not trying to take anything away from Tom Brady. I think he's one of the greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time,
Do you think
I feel like a lot of the system helped him.
Do you think he's
I'm sorry?
the GOAT? Do you think
I think he's the GOAT? I do not. I do not.
not.
That one I don't.
Ooh,
I don't. Because when you look at football, you look at individual people, he doesn't really hold in anything for his position. Yeah, he holds the most rings, but I don't feel like rings define a player because that's a team thing, right? It takes a team to go win the rings. So I feel like as a player, I wouldn't put him as the GOAT.
Okay, who's your GOAT?
That is tough. Greatest of all time, like I would say probably Drew Brees.
Okay, that's
my opinion.
No, I wouldn't say like we actually had Drew Brees before we went into the season, but I changed mine. I was going back and forth with Jerry Rice and Tom Brady, and I changed mine because like I still have Drew Brees. I think there's right now I put Tom Brady as the GOAT now, but well, here if he wins the Super Bowl, do you think he's the GOAT, or that doesn't matter at all?
That really doesn't matter. A lot of it has become of his past. You know, you've been caught cheating so many times, so then there's already a tarnish on a lot of them rings. And as like I said, it comes down to just individual play style, right? Individual stats. You don't hold any of the records as a quarterback. And then even a lot of them now you got to look at, you got caught deflating footballs. That helps out your average. How long were you doing that? You just all these things that you just don't know. Now, before all this, I used to say Tom Brady was the greatest of all time. But then once all this starts coming out that he got caught doing this, they got caught doing that. And it's like, well, without all that, how good would you have really been?
Okay, so you're basically saying like it's kind of the Sammy Sosa situation in baseball.
Yeah, where kind of. I mean, like it's like I still respect him as a player, and I had him there as the greatest. But all this comes out, it just starts to make you wonder, like, where would you have been if it wasn't for all this extra help? Like, how would your career?
When did he? You know, when did that ever take place? That
exactly. Like how much of this was going on that we didn't find out about? So now, just like last year, which I mean, everybody joked about because it was the Bengals and they didn't win a single game. But last year that they got caught filming at the Bengals practice, and everybody's like, they probably didn't mean to because you know they're not going to spy on the Bengals. We don't think so, but
there might be something that they need from them. But yeah, I mean, who else? Okay? So this is why I said this. So I think there's only 4 quarterbacks who are allowed to put or even like be in the conversation of challenging Tom Brady for the GOAT. And I was just say Drew Brees, not Aaron Rodgers, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, and Dan Marino. Those are the 4 quarterbacks, and then I also have Jerry Rice in there. And you can make a case for Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think.
I would throw Aaron Rodgers in there, especially just because he's got, in my opinion, another 10, 12 years to play. And he's already kind of at the doorstep in the argument, or people are like, well, you could throw him in there. You could throw him in there. So another 10 years, I definitely feel like we'll be talking about him.
Yeah, and I think even like another 10 years, I would even throw Pat Mahomes in there, to be honest.
I feel like he'll definitely be, as long as he can stay healthy. That's what it comes down to with these younger quarterbacks right now is how long can they stay healthy? Can they play
Aaron
as long
Rodgers
as these other quarterbacks have?
Aaron Rodgers is kind of old though, so if he can maybe put something together, I could see it, I guess, but I wouldn't count him out completely. I actually had him in there. I go back and forth, so I guess it's in that borderline area. It's in that gray area where if you put him in there, I wouldn't be, too upset about it. But if you leave him out, also wouldn't be too upset about it,
I think a lot of the issues with Aaron Rodgers comes down to people want to argue he's not even the greatest Packer of all time at quarterback position. And I think that's kind of where it gets him is because of Brett Favre, that they're both so damn good that they're like, you're not even the greatest Packer. Well, all these other players, like they are the all-time best on their team at that position. So there's no argument there.
Yeah. And see, part of me still thinks like Jordan Love's going to be going off. Just because that's how the Packers roll. They're old school with how they bring up the plays, whether it's even receivers, quarterbacks, you name it, every single position, they're going to be sitting down, just learning from the starters for at least 4 years. That's how Devontae Adams came up. That's how Jordan Nelson came up with Greg Jennings and Donald Driver, and everybody being great.
That's how Aaron Rodgers came up.
Yeah, that's how Aaron Rodgers came up. Yep. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Love goes off and, takes or even challenges Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if he'll be that great, but I think he'll be decent for them.
I feel like he'll take over the Packers starting position in the next couple of years. Just look at the Rodgers thing. Once Rodgers gets a little older, same thing as Brett Favre. They're like, we know you can play still, but we don't want you.
Yeah, and we'll see that carousel for that'll like turn into something. He'll probably go around the league.
Yeah, just go wherever he wants and build super teams around him and try to win another Super Bowl.
They're basically gonna do what's going on in Tampa Bay right now with Tom Brady.
Yep. Which, I mean, if you look when you have a veteran quarterback like that, it happens almost every time. It's like when Brett Favre went to the Vikings, they built a lot around him that year.
It's a
and they should have won that year.
Yeah, if he didn't throw that interception.
If he did not throw that interception.
And that's also a big thing with Brett Favre. Those interceptions, the playmaking just wasn't that. He made some bad calls and cost them that season. Like they should have. Yep.
I remember watching that game and I saw the open 15 yards. He could have just ran the ball. They already in field goal range. I'm like, well, they win. And then he throws it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was. I don't know what made him think that they were going to get something. I don't even think there was a player open where he was throwing it to.
There wasn't. There was nobody there. He threw it straight to Tracy Porter.
Yeah, and Tracy Porter was one of the best in that playoff run. He also had that pick six in the Super Bowl, right?
Yep, we had the pick six in the Super Bowl against Peyton Manning, which kind of sealed it.
Yep.
Late in the third quarter, put us up by.
It's I don't think he'll be remembered that much in NFL history.
And what killed it is because he got traded. Well, I think he wasn't traded. I think it was just signed in the offseason to the Broncos.
Oh.
Well, he's got sickle cell anemia.
Oh.
So that means he can't play at Mile High Stadium. So literally every home game that year, 8 games a year, he couldn't play.
Dang.
So he was playing half a season every year, just the away games. It's like, why would y'all sign a guy that can't play home games?
That's actually, I actually didn't know that, but dang.
It didn't make sense to me when I heard about it. I was like, I don't know why y'all signing him, but okay. Because I remember we played a couple of years against them in Denver, and he couldn't play those games, and it's because of the higher altitude.
Yeah, that's actually. There's probably a couple stadiums where it actually matters to have a home field advantage. I would say I'm also taking into consideration the fans as well. I would say Broncos are up there, probably number 3, and then number 1 always has to be Seattle. I don't. It just. The Beastquake thing, the fact that stadium actually created it, or got recorded on an earthquake measuring system or whatever they call it, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. Those fans are crazy up there in Seattle.
12th man is a real thing.
It really is. It really is.
What I find crazy is that Tampa Bay is pretty much playing a home game tomorrow. I did read though that they're not going to allow the cannons to fire after touchdowns and things because it's not supposed to be a home field advantage. It's supposed to be a neutral site game. So if the Bucs score, that the cannons are not supposed to be firing or any of this because it's supposed to be more of a neutral site game.
That's actually really interesting. Yeah, I didn't.
It's the first time in history the home team or where it's played will have the home team involved.
I don't know how I feel about that because part of that is about the entertainment. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't.
I don't know if they're going to kind of change it to where they'll just go off at random times or after certain plays for either team. But I did read that they're going to try to keep it to where it's more of a neutral site atmosphere.
Okay. So they're still going to keep it going, right? Or is it just...
we will see. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I said I just know they said they're going to do more of a try to keep it neutral site and not more of a home field advantage type feeling.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That really will be. And so we'll have to see about that. But yeah. So, okay, so Patty Mahomes, right? So do you think that offense, last time they played, right? They got 200 yards. Well, with Tyreek Hill, he got 200 yards, 256 yards in the first quarter. And then he didn't get anything else. Do you think that we'll see any of those performances again?
I feel like we're going to have to if you're going to see Kansas City go off. Mm-hmm. I feel like one player is going to just go off. And I feel like it's either going to be Tyreek Hill or it's going to be Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like anybody else on that team is going to be able to really, really make a huge impact on the Bucs defense except for those two.
I think it might even be McCole Hardman. I wouldn't be surprised. And the reason
I
I
can
say
see
that,
it, but I think that would surprise me a little bit
yeah.
if it's not Kelsey or Tyreek
Mhm.
Hill.
And the reason I say that is because if you double team like Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, that's about all you can really do. You're gonna have to leave someone open. You just will. And either you give Patty Mahomes way too much time to throw the ball and just make the right reads, or you leave someone open or on one-on-one. And they're called the Legion of Zoom for a reason. And if you leave any of those guys on one-on-one coverage, you're putting yourself in a bad position, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if McCole Hardman's that unsung hero, the X factor of
It's
that team.
possible.
Yeah,
But see, with
and
that being said, I feel like they're gonna run a lot of zone tomorrow. The
yeah,
Bucks. I feel like the Bucks gonna run a lot of zone because, like you said, you can't really double team everybody without leaving somebody open, and you can't one-on-one
mhm,
cover anybody. So I feel like a
yeah,
lot of zones gonna be played, and I think that's bad for the Bucks as well because
yeah.
Mahomes can find that open zone, and that's where Travis Kelce really, really takes off.
And I was gonna say, like, at some point, if they're gonna run that zone, some point in Hill's route, I feel like he's gonna be flying over the field. He's gonna get one-on-one coverage at some point in the route,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where it's gonna get scary. And then if you do double team him, well, then you got Travis Kelce to account for, and now they finally got a running back who I think is um competent to their team. They had Damian Williams, but I never saw him as the answer. But like for the style of play, they needed a receiving back. You still got the checkdowns with CEH, but Tampa is looking really strong on defense. They really are.
They picked their defense up since about week 11.
Mm-hmm.
They've definitely got more stout, especially in the run defense.
Yeah, Vita Vea is coming back as well.
Especially, yes, that run defense.
Yep, and then it's and I feel like that those linebackers are just very good pass coverage guys. So if we see one-on-one with Travis Kelce, I wouldn't be surprised, and I still could see them succeed doing that. And they're one of the few teams that I could see succeeding by doing that. Just one-on-one
Quan
coverage.
Alexander in the middle. He's going to be the
Yep.
one covering Kelce, and
I
that
was even
man's
gonna
got
say
some speed. He's got
Levante
lateral speed.
David.
Like, he was keeping up with Kamara all 3 games we
Oh
played,
yeah.
and Kamara was shut down because Quan Alexander had him down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Quan Alexander's good. He's stud. Devin White a stud, and then of course Levante David. He's got he's got a whole bunch of picks this season, I think. And that's gonna be
They have a stout defense.
yeah.
It's definitely going. I feel like it's going to be a really good game tomorrow. I don't feel
Oh
like
yeah.
either team's going to run away with it. I feel like it's going to
Yeah.
be more of a 4 to 10 point game.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, what's your score prediction?
My score prediction is 28 to 32. I've actually
28
got
to
a 4-point spread on it.
Okay.
And I got the Chiefs winning 32-28.
Oh, nice. Okay. Mine was what was my mom was 34 to 27. That's what I had. That's what I got right now because but see, it's also one of those games that I keep bringing up, but it's the Rams versus the Chiefs game that we saw like a long time ago, or not a long time ago. It was actually a couple seasons ago when the Rams made the Super Bowl, which was also one of the worst Super Bowls we've ever seen. Just terrible. But that game, it was what, like 45-42. It was a 100-point game. Monday Night
They shouldn't
Football.
even have been in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I actually had them making the Super Bowl before the season started because that team was such a great team on paper. They brought everybody
Even that
in.
year, they were a great team. But
Yeah.
that was also the no call. They shouldn't have made the Super Bowl that year.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. But the no call. I feel like they would have had to drive anyway to go downfield and get
No, it
something.
would have ended the game. That'd have been it.
That would have actually.
Because there was a minute and like 12 seconds left. So you get the first down on the first and goal. You're tied ball game. You run the ball or kneel the ball twice. Let it get down to 3 seconds. Call timeout. Kick your field goal. You win the game. Yeah, that was the game.
Never mind. That was the game. For some reason, I've been thinking that was before the 2-minute warning. No, that was the game actually.
Yeah, I say because the Rams had no timeouts. Like that was the game. That'd have been it.
Yeah, no, that was the game. Never mind. Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest calls in history. But like, see, like there was a graphic I saw, and I think Super Kurt posted it, but like, it was saying, well, which call was the most controversial, and like that call, I don't think it was that like it was controversial, but at least people got over it quickly.
See, I don't think that's the most controversial call because I don't feel like it's controversial. I feel like everybody in the world knew it should have been called.
Oh yeah, it was
except
just
for the refs on the field.
Yeah.
My opinion, the most controversial call is Des Bryant's no catch.
Yeah, that
Like,
or
was
even
that a catch or not? Like, I thought it was a catch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either that or the whole Green Bay Seattle double catch replacement refs. That's another one. That's
But those, see, the thing is with all those, at least, I mean, every rule, every call, every controversial call has been overturned, or like not overturned. The rule changed in some way. The PI, well, it changed and then it changed again because they realized it wasn't a good idea to challenge the PIs and review them. And then the tuck rule, they changed that rule as well. And then even the catches they changed to make, I mean, they still sometimes make no sense. There's some plays that we just like, it just nothing. But that Green Bay Seattle, the Hail Mary, there was no way you could have fixed it. It wasn't like everything is just easy. It's easy. Just look at who caught the ball. And they couldn't make the right call. It just who caught the ball. It was clearly Green Bay. And yet they called it Seattle touchdown, which was, but that's one of those games. I don't think, well, it was a regular season game. So
yeah, that was the last game the replacement refs were part of because they got the other refs off their strike quickly after. They're like, yeah, we need y'all back.
Yeah, we don't want that again. Yeah, no, we don't need that happening. We don't need like 4 of those happening in a game. And that was, that game was like that call just, I still don't understand how they did it. And I'm just wondering, how did they get those refs? Like, did they just pick people off the street? Because clearly, a guy who's educated in this is not gonna make that call. That's just my thing about it. Like, who did you bring in to mess up that easy of a call?
See, from what I heard, it was like Division II college refs. Like it wasn't even D1 college refs. It was like Division II and Division III college refs, like JUCO college refs.
Dang. Okay, so they did basically pick up people just from the street. Okay.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't go find the best of the best. Be like, hey,
they didn't have like they didn't have a meeting, like any type of conference, like what do you know about the sport? They just picked up random people who were doing this on the side. Yep. Okay, so that explains a lot. Okay, so back to Super Bowl. So, well, we talked about Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs. What do you think about the Bucs offense now? That's also a very like great offense. That's a very well put together team. AB's coming back. What do you think about that?
I feel like on paper they've got the best offense in the NFL all year.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I don't think I've seen a single game where they've put together a full game of what their true potential can be.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we see that tomorrow, that they can't be beat because they're not gonna be stopped on any drive. But it's how often are we going to see that tomorrow with them clicking on all cylinders and everybody doing what they're supposed to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like that team, it was just a merry-go-round with, well, it was just a roller coaster basically. Like, were they went from underrated to overrated to underrated to overrated to just right, and they finally got it. Like people wanted to call them like overrated, whatever everybody was saying, that, oh, this is the best team in the NFL. This will be the best team in the NFL before the season started. And then everybody forgot about them. Then they went to underrated. Then no one talked about them. They started going off. Then everybody's like, oh, those teams are winning Super Bowl. They went to overrated. And now everybody who said that and everybody who changed their mind was actually right. That's the funniest part. And it's just crazy how Tom Brady just came in, and they didn't do much other than bringing Tom Brady. They kept everybody around him. Basically, the supporting cast is still the same, except Gronk, I guess, and then Leonard Fournette.
NAB.
AB, yeah, and AB. But AB, like AB, kind of just. I mean, we saw AB. Like he's always wanted to play with Tom Brady. He wanted to do that with when he went to Oakland, and the whole helmet situation. And he openly said, "I want to play with Tom Brady." He just wants to play for Tom Brady. He went to New England, got caught up in the scandals. So that wasn't a shocking surprise, and that was like but they put that team together, and Tom Brady was basically the biggest change in that team. And they went from not making the super or not making the playoffs, just Jameis Winston to Tom Brady, and now they're in the Super Bowl at home in the Super Bowl. It's crazy. It's crazy how Tom Brady just came in there basically being the biggest move of the offseason, brought us to the championship.
I feel like that shows the importance of the quarterback position itself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You got a good quarterback, you can do a lot. If you don't, you ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm. And like they went from Jameis, they had Jameis Winston, who okay, so you're a Saints fan, right? And what do you think about Jameis Winston? Do you think he's gonna get any PT?
Okay, so yeah, honestly, I feel like Jameis Winston is the future of the Saints.
Really?
I do. And I feel like everything they did was genius on the coaching and the GM side, on Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton's side. So you want to re-sign Taysom Hill. Of course, he's your gadget player. So you re-sign him to a 2-year contract, $17 million, which everything's getting paid this year to him. So next year he's playing for $1 million. To keep him on your team with the promise of, hey, Brees got hurt last year, he gets hurt again, we're going to give you a chance to play. And Sean Payton's admitted that he gave him his word. So Brees goes down, comes in Taysom Hill, he does fine. So now at the end of the season, you're looking at re-signing Bo. You're looking at re-signing Jameis Winston. Now no other team wants him because they haven't seen him play. Last they still know of is what was in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Look what happened. We brought in Teddy Bridgewater, let him play out 4 games. Then he went and signed a big contract because we couldn't pay him. Now we bring in, hey, we're going to pay you still bare minimum another $1 million, come play for us. But he's going to be the starter this year. He's going to go out, show out, and then we'll give him a big contract. And he's still young.
Mm-hmm.
Heisman Trophy winner, first overall draft pick.
Yeah,
I think the biggest issue is turnovers.
Yeah, and also the off the field stuff as well. But like that can be changed. I feel like
the off the field stuff, I think it's gotten better as he's gotten older. He has matured. Because I know it was really bad when he was in college, and it kind of transitioned over a little bit, but it's gotten better every year. And I feel like under the right organization, under the right coaching.
Yeah, he had that one big scandal, and then he kind of simmered down after that. He kind of matured, and I feel like this was a really good wake up call for him. He thought that he was the first overall pick. Just come in here. This is your spot. Everything's handed to you, and he was playing like that. He was playing like he went from FSU where he was like amazing quarterback, and he was just playing with everything given to him. And this was just a really good wake up call for him. It was also a very good learning opportunity for him, like learning behind, as you said, the GOAT, but one of the greatest of all time. And
that's actually he wanted to do that. He had offers to go be starters for a couple of the teams, but they weren't playoff teams. They weren't good teams. They were rebuilding teams. But he saw an opportunity to go sit behind Drew Brees for a couple of years, learn, and then maybe take that team over.
That says a lot too. Like this, if he really had off the field or not off the field issues, ego issues, and he's not gonna, he's a team cancer. He wouldn't have come in here, give up a year of his career just to learn, not take many snaps. Like he wouldn't just have done that. And it really just depends on how much, like, what will Taysom Hill's role be in? Because some people are saying like, well, he's gonna be the starter, but I don't see that. He's gonna be the gadget player, and that's what he's always been known for. And it opens up the offense. It really does. Having 2 quarterbacks on the field is actually a big deal. Like you can go anywhere with it. You got 2 people who can just run an offense on the field at one time. That changes the whole narrative game, basically.
And see, most of the analysts and everybody I know, they're talking about Taysom Hill wanting them to be the starter. I do not, for the simple fact the man's 30 years old and he's tore his ACL 4 times already. I mean, I feel like one of the bigger reasons we lost the last game against the Bucs was he didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because of a knee injury from the game before. Yeah. That to me, that's not a starting quarterback. That's not what you want to invest the next 10 years of your career or your franchise in. Is somebody who's known for getting hurt. And like you said earlier, how long can they last if they run the ball and those option reads and
And
then
his
I don't
his
feel like
BYU career was just kind of sad. It was low key just kind of sad, and because he had season-ending injury every single season in BYU.
Yep. ACL every time.
Yep, and somehow I don't know what happened. I don't know if he's like I don't know what he's done, what rehabilitation center he's gone to. He came back and got all that movement, and he's looking amazing. But he's not gonna. He's already 30 years old. He's gonna be 31 next year, and he's as it is. Well, just from that alone, with injuries taken out of the conversation, he doesn't have much time. Playing the way he plays. Then you add in injuries, the chance of getting injured, the wear on your body, and we've seen quarterbacks now who calling it quits earlier. Andrew Luck did it, where you take hits like that and it just changes you, and it changes your whole lifestyle. Basically, you've already gone through that. You've been injured 4 times in college. Now in the NFL, you're still getting banged up, and it's just how long will you play like that? Especially the way he's playing right now. His style,
especially with the whole season. I mean, I'm one of them that believe I don't feel like he has the greatest arm either. I feel like he's a great gadget player. He's a good runner, but the couple deep shots he took, he underthrew everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I feel like for that playoff game, which he didn't play, but Jameis comes in, throws a deep shot trick play, and that's right on the money.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather a 24, 25-year-old Jameis than I would a 30-year-old injury-prone Swiss Army knife.
Yep. And he's not gonna be taken out of that offense. He's still gonna be there for like 3 more years, because I guess he's playing more of like a tight end and a running back, Swiss Army knife. But it's crazy. Like, there's no benchmark for him. Like, he's the benchmark. He is the line for people to look at. So it's hard to tell how many more years he has, but I don't see him playing for that much longer. At least as the way he is, or the Saints even trust him that much.
Yeah, especially the Saints player, because honestly, with how much I've heard talk, I feel like he's under contract this year. I feel like after this year, he will leave, because I feel like somebody will sign him as a quarterback. I really do. I don't feel like it's going to be a great decision on their part.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, the Saints also have the whole cap salary, the salary stuff going on.
Oh, the Saints are in trouble on that one.
Yeah, and y'all will have to give us some picks, probably. They'll find a way to get out of it, but and it's crazy because I heard if they literally get rid of every one of their players, just every single one of their players, they'll still be in debt.
Yeah, they'll still be over. They're gonna end up losing picks over it. This year was definitely an all or nothing. It was win or bust.
Yeah, and it was more of like a last hurrah for Drew Brees, just a send off season for him, but that clearly didn't happen. Now they're set back more.
Just got me concerned because they started renegotiating Drew Brees' contract yesterday.
Yeah.
So he'll be at the minimum.
Yeah. Even if he does retire, it still wouldn't impact.
It's not going to help us because I said he's just working for the minimum now, so it ain't going to help us much. But they're already starting to move things around. I think they realize that they are in some bad trouble when it comes to that.
They really are, yeah. And if they can come back from this, the Saints are one of those teams that have always been put in those positions. I mean, they've always been faced with adversity and they've come back from it. I mean, whether it was, of course, Hurricane Katrina, they came back and, they had to pick up, they were playing home games in other people's stadium.
They're playing home games in San Antonio, Texas.
Yep. And so if there's a team that can do it, I guess it's the Saints. I mean,
so I'm gonna call it now. I don't want nobody to be shocked when it happens, but I feel like Michael Thomas will be traded this offseason.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised actually. I've
been saying that since the off the field issue started. I was like, they're not gonna let him go this season because we're trying to win a Super Bowl. I was like, but off season he's gone. He got paid that big money, and now he's starting to become a cancer. And we've seen before with the Saints, they don't do that.
It really started when the whole like protest and the whole political climate like heated up, and then the whole Drew Brees thing, and then he took shots at Drew Brees, and it wasn't.
He had his on the field issues.
Yeah, he wasn't healthy. He wasn't what he was like last year. You know, he wasn't that Marvin Harrison record breaker. You know, he was barely even on the field, and when he was on the field, he was actually doing really good. But like, when do you just call it stop? Like, just when do you call it quits on him? Just say stop. Now we're done with that.
Especially the Saints, they don't. If you remember, they signed Adrian Peterson a couple years ago, and he went mouth off to Sean Payton one time, just traded the next week.
Yeah,
Saints don't put up with off-field issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's gonna be something. So depends on how they come back from that, but yeah. So, I'm gonna start wrapping up because we got it. Well, the segment got to be shortened, but yeah. So let's just like any last final thoughts on the Super Bowl itself before we leave.
No, I feel like I got the Chiefs 32-28 for sure, but so it's gonna be a close game.
Yep. So yeah. So that's probably, and as I said, 34-27. And okay, well, who do you have Super Bowl MVP? Let's do that. Super Bowl MVP.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Okay. I mean, Patrick Mahomes. Unless someone goes off like Tyreek Hill, that 200-yard game. Unless that happens, yeah. And for the most part, if the Chiefs win, it's gonna be Patrick Mahomes, easy. So I wouldn't be surprised. What about the Bucks? If the Bucks win?
If the Bucks win, probably Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah.
Probably Tom Brady.
Do you think Tom Brady will retire?
For them to win, he's going to be having to throw for about 400, 450 yards.
Oh, yeah. Do you think he'll retire if he wins?
Honestly, I do. I do. And if he wins, that's it. Right out on the sunset. I did what I wanted to do.
It'd be the Peyton Manning send off.
Yep. I really do. I feel like, but then again, like he hasn't fell off skill wise, in my opinion, really at all. So it's like he still has the ability to come back. So
yep.
It's how competitive a person is he. That's the thing. Yep. Like, do you want that send off, or do you want a chance for one more? And if it ends badly, well, you could have ended it on a good note.
Yeah.
But I do feel like he will retire if he wins.
I would say he would, because it's just perfect. He came into the league winning a Super Bowl to leaving a Super Bowl on and proving a point. He's proven a point. He's proven that he doesn't need Bill Belichick. He doesn't need the Patriots. He can do it. Well, if he leaves, basically anywhere he goes, that's what it looks like, at least.
Either division, NFC, AFC, it doesn't matter.
Yep. So, guys, this is gonna be conclusion to this podcast. Did you want to go ahead and just shout yourself out, do all that, you know?
All right, guys, y'all make sure y'all give me a follow on TikTok at Taz_13. Follow me on Instagram and on YouTube and all my other links. It was nice talking to y'all. Nice talking to you, my man.
Thank you for coming on again. That's a pleasure having you on the show. And if you ever want to run it back sometime, maybe even talk about TikTok sometime on a segment, we can do that as well.
Man, definitely. My pleasure.
Yep. Okay. So, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Yeah. So if you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. If you're on Anchor, go ahead and follow. And I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next segment, because we got one more coming in. And yeah, see you there. See you.